Cassie takes the stand in Diddy trial, emotional testimony, details alleged abuse and control. In a pivotal moment in the ongoing federal case against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, Cassandra Cassie Ventura took the witness stand today, delivering emotional and detailed testimony about the alleged abuse she endured during their more than decade-long relationship. Her appearance marked a striking moment in the courtroom, and in the broader narrative unfolding around the high-profile trial, Cassie entered the courtroom wearing a form-fitting brown dress. Visibly pregnant, her demeanor composed, yet resolute. She walked with her head held high, deliberately avoiding any eye contact with Combs. This marked their first known in-person interaction since 2018, when both attended the funeral of Kim Porter, the late mother of Combs's 3 children. Observers in the courtroom described a palpable tension as Cassie approached the witness stand and began to speak. According to legal analysts and court reporters present, Combs's reaction was one of quiet intensity. Though he showed no overt emotion, it was clear he was closely listening, a contrast to the otherwise still courtroom. Attorneys confirmed this is the first time the two have been in the same room in at least 6 years, making Cassie's testimony a highly anticipated moment in the case. From the moment Cassie began to testify, the courtroom was riveted. Jurors, attorneys, and onlookers leaned in as she began recounting what prosecutors argue is evidence of a years-long pattern of manipulation, coercion, and abuse, both psychological and physical. She is widely considered the prosecution's star witness, especially given her prior 2023 civil lawsuit against Combs that was settled just 1 day after being filed. Her testimony now links key elements in the federal indictment, giving the prosecution a central narrative of control and abuse. Cassie's testimony focused heavily on what she called freak-offs, a term Combs allegedly used to describe sexual encounters where she was instructed to have sex with other individuals, typically while he watched. She told the jury she was introduced to the concept about a year into their relationship, around the time she was just 21 or 22 years old. At first, she said she complied because she was young, naive, and trying to please someone she loved and trusted. One of the most emotional moments came when prosecutors asked Cassie whether she had ever enjoyed these freak-offs. Fighting back tears, she said that she had, but only because they gave her rare moments of connection with Combs. "I enjoyed it because I got to be with him," she testified. "I did it because it made him happy." That vulnerable admission visibly moved some in the courtroom and underscored what prosecutors have described as a pattern of psychological entrapment masked as intimacy. Cassie detailed how she quickly went from aspiring artist to someone who, in her words, had no control over her life. She described how Combs dictated everything, from what she wore, to the lighting in the room, to how she was supposed to behave during these sexual encounters. She said she felt objectified and manipulated, but believed she had no choice. "I was young, I was naive, I didn't know any better," she said softly. "I thought I was building a future." In one particularly revealing moment, jurors were shown an email Cassie sent in 2010 where she tentatively raised concerns about participating in the freak-offs. However, after Combs responded, "I know you don't want to do it," she quickly backpedaled, writing, "Oh no, it's not that." Cassie said that was the first time she tried to express discomfort, and the first time she learned not to. Courtroom observers noted the jury's intense focus throughout the testimony. Many jurors appeared deeply engaged, with several taking notes as Cassie spoke. Given that she is expected to remain on the stand for at least 2 to 3 days, her testimony could prove foundational in establishing the prosecution's argument that Combs operated a broader criminal enterprise aimed at enabling and concealing abusive behavior. Cassie's insights into Combs's inner circle added further weight to the prosecution's case. She identified 7 individuals close to Combs, including his former chief of staff, security personnel, a driver, and financial handlers, all of whom she claimed had roles in maintaining the alleged structure of control around him. Prosecutors presented photographs of these individuals, underscoring their relevance to the broader allegations of organized abuse and enabling. While the courtroom was largely silent throughout the day, some reactions were noted. Combs's family, including his daughters, remained present during Cassie's testimony, though they had stepped out during earlier graphic details related to another witness. Today, however, they stayed in place. Meanwhile, Cassie's husband sat quietly a few rows behind her, showing no visible emotion but remaining present throughout as a show of support. Cassie also shared personal details that humanized her experience further, revealing nicknames used during the relationship. She called Combs Pop Pop, while he referred to her as Cece, short for Cassie Combs, indicating the depth of emotional entanglement at the time. Yet she testified that underneath those pet names was a relationship built on imbalance, fear, and manipulation. At times soft-spoken, Cassie nevertheless came across as composed and deeply reflective. She emphasized that the person she was during that time, a young artist trying to navigate fame and love, is not who she is today. Now nearly 40, expecting a child, and with a family of her own, Cassie painted a stark contrast between her past self and who she has become. Prosecutors have not yet concluded their direct examination, and the defense has yet to begin cross-examination. It's expected that Cassie's time on the stand will continue into the next court day, given the breadth of her experience and the central role her story plays in the case. Her account, layered with emotional complexity, may prove critical in shaping how the jury interprets the broader narrative of alleged abuse, coercion, and control. As the trial unfolds, the public and legal community alike are watching closely. Cassie's voice, one that had been largely silent for years, now echoes through the courtroom, and possibly through the entire case,